All right, I'm Randy Dixon. Of course, you see this gorgeous face, smooth, good-looking face on Hard in the Paint. But I'm also on another show called Wrestleheads, and it's particularly we talk about wrestling and it's a lot of shit talking and stuff like that. So I mean, look at both brotherly shows. You could say Hard in the Paint, Wrestleheads. You can get your equal amount of shit talking on both shows. Tune in.
I'm Chuck Jones.
I'm Anthony Mendez.
Randy Dixon.
I'm Mark Scott. Time to go hard in the paint.
This is our third week of the show. We're going to go ahead and jump right into the NFL because this week is the biggest story. First thing we're going to talk about is the NFL teams possibly coming to LA. Now, I heard sources from like Peter King and Dan Patrick that if it was not going to happen within the first year or within this year or so, then it looks like LA isn't going to go ahead and get teams. The NFL wants 2 teams to be brought into LA and into the downtown area because they feel that's where they can make the most profit. Now, one of the teams that they were thinking about was the Rams, since the Raiders are close to being in negotiations to stay in Oakland. Another team that we were talking about was either the Chargers or the Jaguars.
I personally think that's the dumbest fucking shit they could ever fucking come up with. What is with people's obsession with putting 2 teams in one fucking building? People get tired of that horse shit. You know what? LA is so fucking greedy of a city. They shouldn't have the Lakers and the Clippers in the same goddamn building.
Clippers should be back.
That Staples Center. That Staples Center is the goddamn Lakers' house. You know what I mean? It's the goddamn Lakers' house. If the Clippers want to establish some kind of legacy for themselves, they need to go back to the sports arena. And I went them talking about this new football field and everything. I understand you want it all to be downtown, but you guys need to think about something. And I'm just speaking from a person that's always on those fucking freeways. It's a fucking problem when you want to put all these major goddamn stadiums and shit right in the fucking busiest part of the goddamn city. That's why I applaud NFL cities that fucking put their goddamn stadiums a little bit further out because it really helps with the goddamn traffic situation. Can you guys imagine how bad it's gonna be when that Farmers Field one day, if that shit ever opens up? Because I'm starting to put the goddamn Farmers Field in the Dr. Dre detox section. Like it's never gonna fucking happen. That's number one. But if that shit ever did fucking happen,
it never happened.
That shit is gonna fuck up traffic like you wouldn't fucking believe. And this is absurd for them to try to put 2 teams in one building. You don't have to be that goddamn greedy. Well, 1 team is enough.
As far as I know, the Farmers Field idea is scrapped. Because Tim Lightwicky, he was the head on that, and he left to go work with another company. But two teams in one NFL stadium isn't exactly a rare thing. The Jets and the Giants, as of right now, share a stadium too.
Yeah, but at the same time, I also believe there can be 2 teams in LA, but they don't have to be in the same stadium. You can have that for they're gonna build that field in downtown area, and then City of Industry. That field that could be built right there.
What the fuck about that shit?
Yeah,
they're supposed to build a fucking a stadium in the city of Walnut.
But they don't
No,
need.
it's industry.
But it's an industry. But at the same time, they don't need the 2 teams in the one stadium. Really, what they should do is just start off with 1 and see how that goes. Because West Coast fans can be fickle as it is. But at the same time, I believe San Diego's that team. San Diego is going to be that team. It ain't going to be Oakland. For all you Raiders fans out there, you ain't coming back. You stay in Oakland somewhere. They need you up there to grow. You know what I mean? But no, San Diego's got a following enough
that
out here.
That Palm's a decent stadium.
No, what? A decent stadium?
Why would they move?
It's a trash heap.
The fucking
Why would they move?
It's a trash heap. It's a trash heap.
I remember that shit used to be called Jack Murphy.
That's why people still call it the Murphy.
It's done. The stadium's shit, dude. I mean, it is, man.
I mean, they had every opportunity. Look how many Super Bowls been there. That's so much money coming in there. That just cheap ass fucking San Diego, just like cheap ass Oakland. If you look at fucking Oakland, they should have been had a new stadium. The goddamn A's been playing fucking damn good. Why the fuck they ain't got a stadium? The Raiders, when they was decent, when they was going to the playoffs and all that shit, they should have had a fucking stadium. If I'm Oakland, the Oakland A's, they ought to move to New Orleans. If I'm the Raiders, come back to LA. This is where all y'all fans at.
Well, it's not, but they already signed, didn't they? Oakland.
It's not nothing
Oakland
is
signed
signed.
It's not officially signed yet. It's close. It's basically contract negotiations. Like, it's not exactly, they didn't say in terms.
They're talking.
Yeah, they're talking, which means that if it does happen, it will happen soon. But then the ball can always drop. But as of right now, they're at least talking when earlier they weren't talking before.
Here's my thing on it. Oakland's broke. Vallejo was the first city in California to go bankrupt. They ain't making money up there, so keep the team up there. I mean, that's really them. What I'm saying, no, listen to me though. Listen to me. The Oracle Arena and the Raiders are, and the A's are basically the only revenue, and besides Frisco and you
San Francisco owns the goddamn bay. I gotta let you know that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Oracle Arena. You know what I mean? We're going to state plays. I mean, you know, they hold. They're basically keeping the city afloat. You know, why would you take a team and put them back in LA? LA's doing fine. Ain't nobody broken. Well, there's a lot of broke people.
But you know what though? But you know what? To what you're saying though. To your point though, if they're to your point though, Omar, if they are broke like that, they're not. That's why they're not going to the games. Because people can't afford to fucking go to those goddamn games because the city's broke.
No, people don't want to go to the games because they don't want to get stabbed.
Well,
okay, my thing is though too. Okay, this shit happened back when Al Davis jacked, was it $3 million or whatever like that? Why not put a team right there in the Rock Quarry in Irwindale? That's still a good spot.
It got to be in LA.
But didn't he take?
No, I'm talking about he's talking about the other team. You have one team in LA, one team not.
Yeah.
You have right there. You have the 210. You have the 605, and you have the 10 right there. You're gonna have plenty of ways to get to that
great
stadium.
fucking Miller Brewery right there.
Exactly, right there. You got a sponsor for the stadium. Could be good old Miller Stadium.
If
And then you go right there.
LA,
It could be
they're
sold
gonna
out.
have sponsors up there. So sponsorship, they ain't gonna have to.
San Diego needs to come to LA.
I don't think so. San Diego's just if they're not gonna stay in San Diego,
it's
they
not,
need to just
man.
disappear.
They're right
Because
franchise.
if I'm LA, they need, to me personally, they need to start fresh. They need to bring a team in through expansion. You know, that's how I feel about it. Because you know what? Because let's be honest. Do you really want to bring the sorry ass Jaguars over here? Nigga, ain't nobody gonna fucking watch them.
But some teams,
San Diego, they're still decent, but I don't know. I think San Diego should stay in San Diego. And it's just like what you were saying the other day. Teams use LA as leverage to get what they need to fix their own shit. St. Louis did it. Minnesota did it. Maybe fucking Jacksonville's the next ones to do it, but
the Raiders are doing it too right now.
The Raiders, but I mean,
I think the Raiders are the only one that might be willing to go that next step.
Well, the Chargers ain't getting a new stadium anytime soon. That's why they're a prime candidate to come over here.
So you telling me
some teams need to be retracted? You know what I mean?
So instead of bringing franchises, it's more Charger fans in this whole Southern California area than Raider fans?
No, we're not saying that.
No, that's what I'm saying.
I know, but there is a fan base out here that could support the Chargers.
You have to look at it like dollars and cents. You're trying to put asses in the seats.
And like
Charger fans, they're not like that. Raider fans would travel from Oakland or LA to Oakland.
You travel anywhere.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Charger fans, do you see Charger fans in other places? No.
Yeah.
Because they
You see Charger fans
like
you see Charger fans all out here. You see Charger fans in LA.
It's like this. We all know what teams like Amar's the Steelers, your Bears, Panthers, 49ers.
Hey, I'm just being realistic.
The visiting teams will be able to go to the teams in LA to support that.
That's the only good thing about it. Like when the Niners play them, I would love to go watch it.
It's like we're all. I mean, even then, I mean, I'll go to a game even if my team isn't there because I like watching football. So they still have people that go over there. People still like to tailgate, which LA, if you fuck over that shit and you say that there's no tailgating in LA, I'm going to say right now, fuck you NFL because tailgating is one of the best things about going to the game.
See, that's the thing. That wouldn't be a team thing or a city thing. That would be an NFL thing.
Exactly.
And they're so busy trying to make money inside the stadium that they don't want you to enjoy yourself outside the stadium with your own shit.
I don't think they're going to do that.
They were talking about it already.
Tailgating is awesome.
They were saying that when they were talking about Farmers Field, they said they were going to have a designated area for tailgating. You can't have that shit. motherfuckers bring an RV and everything else and have a party right there in front of it and then go into the game. If you have a designated area,
Shit,
you
just
really
charging for parking shit.
But yeah, but you can do that. But there's only so
That's how
much
you make your
space.
money.
They only have so much space that they can do in LA. What, they gonna take away a $5 Staples Center parking lot so you can go ahead and tailgate? There's still not enough room right there.
I just don't like the location of it.
But if the Raiders come, just put it this way: if the Raiders come, I can see why they're saying about the tailgate and being in a designated area. They're trying to figure out who getting shot, stabbed, and beat
Jesus
up.
Christ.
You know what I mean?
And contrary to popular opinion, though, San Diego fans are just as bad.
Nah, that's the Raider fans
But
that hype them up.
If
man.
you do have it in a
Raider
designated
fans
area, you can have a
worse.
good old paramedic standing by right there. It'd be a whole lot
It
easier.
should be in a downtown area.
Good old LA.
Have you ever seen those paramedics in action? It's like playing Grand Theft Auto 3. Those motherfuckers, they're all on the curb and shit. You don't fucking know. They don't know where the fuck they're going.
Okay.
Drunk asses.
Moving on, we got the whole Ray McDonald situation. I know he's ready to, say his little piece.
Well, let me
but-
tell you something about that.
Hand it over.
Yeah,
No, I'm gonna just keep it short and sweet.
Yeah.
The fact is, he hasn't been convicted, guilty, or anything like that, and he's confident that he didn't do anything. So you know what? He better start tomorrow, because as far as I'm concerned, there's no evidence, no proof. If the glove didn't goddamn fit, you need to be on the goddamn field sacking Tony Romo's ass tomorrow.
Okay, so I see it's a whole lot different when Ray Rice was.
Yeah.
When
Okay,
hold on.
footage? Is there footage?
But
or,
I'm
or
saying,
like,
this-
did Ray
there's
McDonald give
witnesses.
anybody a two-piece
There's
special in
witnesses.
public
There's,
place?
there's witnesses, and before we saw
That she
the
was
footage,
getting off on him.
before
Yeah.
we saw the footage, everybody was talking suspension. But now it's 49ers. You're like, oh, let's go ahead and make sure that he's.
It's different. If I
Let's
see
go through
Ray,
the process
if I see
now.
if I see Ray McDonald on video doing something like that, and I think Coach Harbaugh too, we have already said
He's
we
a
don't
goddamn hypocrite.
we don't
Harbaugh's
He is a
endorse
hypocrite.
no
Harbaugh's
we
a
don't
hypocrite.
endorse domestic violence by any shape of the imagination. And if it does come out that this man is guilty, this man is off the team.
Okay, but there are witnesses, and yet Harbaugh says he has a zero tolerance policy.
And
He
you gotta
obviously
remember-
bitched out by letting him play on
You gotta
Sunday.
remember,
No,
she
because
you gotta remember,
an
she had bruises
accusation,
too.
an
She got
accusation,
bruises,
Yeah.
got choke bruises,
an
arm bruises, all that
accusation,
shit.
an accusation
Okay.
is an accusation.
An accusation
if
is
he didn't see
different
it
from
for
a
and
police
she's pregnant.
report.
If
There's
he-
a police report.
And she
That's
has
not-
bruises.
That's not
And
an
she's pregnant.
accusation.
And she's pregnant.
And she's pregnant.
That's what's gonna send us
She
to the
got
shit house.
there's bruises around her neck that show that he choked her. You know what I mean? Like, what more do you need?
I need them to tell me those are his fingerprints around her neck. That's what I fucking need.
That's because he's wearing that gold dust gold.
I do remember him fucking Cam Newton up in the goddamn divisional playoff game. Matter of fact, is your quarterback even playing tomorrow? Doesn't matter if he's playing or not.
And I
Y'all
remember,
getting your ass
I
whooped by
remember you
Tampa
saying
Bay.
that Carolina wasn't going to go to San Francisco. You got punched in the fucking mouth,
Yeah.
and you were hanging your fat head down, looking, seeing if you could see your shoes.
Get personal.
Do you see this
It's
figure right
getting
here? This is the number 1. That's how much they beat us by.
Hey, doesn't
Do you
matter.
see this number? That's how much we beat them by
Doesn't matter
in their
if it's-
goddamn
doesn't
house.
matter- doesn't
In
matter
their
if it's by
house
one. Hey,
during the playoffs
we
when it
beat
counted.
you guys the San Francisco way, saying that we couldn't do
And they
it
punked y'all.
better than you guys.
Yeah.
We
Took
did
y'all
it
school money.
better
They
than
did.
you guys.
They did. I just remember Cam
We-
Newton
we
crying.
made
I just remember.
we made Kaepernick look like your guys' backup and Blaine Gabbert when we went to your house.
I just remember Cam Newton crying like a bitch at the end of that playoff game. I don't want to do no interview, and I want Steve Smith out of here. Fucking pussy. He ain't gonna fucking start tomorrow, and it ain't gonna matter. That nigga can start or not start. Y'all getting your ass whooped by Tampa Bay.
Oh yeah, and
It's that simple. Oh wait, no, but tell me how Dallas is gonna whoop our ass.
I didn't
Jump
say
on
that.
subject.
I'm just thinking it's okay because all of a sudden the 49ers turn into fucking Minnesota's having fucking all kinds of bullshit, having boat parties basically in the Bay
I
Area,
remember that shit.
and all of a sudden this is okay. Your player.
Having orgies on a boat.
Yeah, exactly. Your player can choke a female,
Dante
and
Culpepper.
I want to make sure he plays on Sunday because we need to make sure that we win.
No, the
what
fact
if,
is-
what if your secondary is suspect? What if Romo chops you the fuck up?
First of
what
all-
are you gonna say?
First of all, if was a fifth, we'd all be drunk. It's as simple as that. Second of all, if he's not proven that he did it, then you have to let him play. Now look, I'm saying he's a fucking scumbag. If it comes out that
I
he
didn't hear
fucking
that.
did it,
I didn't hear that earlier.
No, I'm just saying, if it comes out that he did it, fuck him, he's off the team, we move on. But since he hasn't been proven that he did it or anything like that, and there's no video evidence of him even dragging anybody out of an elevator, then I have to fucking take word and let the fucking judicial process take it simple. Now you guys talking about there's witnesses. Who the fuck doesn't tell me that those fucking witnesses don't wear Sherman jerseys at home? I can't go
What was your team? Vernon Davis.
Did Vernon Davis say that he did it?
Hey,
because I'm pretty sure if Vernon Davis said, "Hey, coach,
he wore that pink shirt the other day."
Hey, but I'll tell you, what I'm saying is this though. I can almost guarantee you, Vernon Davis. I'm gonna tell you, if Vernon Davis walked in that locker room and said, "Coach, he did it," that nigga would not be playing tomorrow.
That's bullshit.
That's as simple as that.
Okay, so when it comes out that he's done it. Which he has, because I mean, come on, man.
Then like I said,
okay, what is she gonna do? She gonna put what? She gonna put the handprints around her neck? She gonna choke herself? You know what I mean? Hey, he choked his. Oh my god!
Motherfuckers choked themselves. Robin Williams just did it.
Come on, man.
No, hey, we having a conversation.
You're going too goddamn far.
No, man, fuck that. Fuck Mr. Doubtfire. I don't have no respect for any motherfucker that kills their own self. They gave up on life. Fuck that shit. Fuck him.
That's true.
Fuck what he fucking stands
That's beside the point.
That is besides the point. But that nigga choked himself. So you can't say that niggas don't choke themselves. Yeah. But at the same time, no. I'm gonna just say this. No, I'm gonna just say this. I'm gonna just say this. Okay. And it's a moot point. Prove it that he fucking did it and his ass is off the team. Okay. Is that goddamn simple?
We know you get passionate about the 49ers, but you went a little left field.
So next week when it proves that he's done it,
okay.
He's
gone. Okay, and I'll come right on this motherfucker and say, fuck Ray McDonald, you don't fucking hit a woman, you punk ass bitch. But since he ain't did it, I ain't fucking saying that shit. What I'm saying now is instead of the bitch that he put his hands on, he need to fucking put his hands on Romo. How about that?
Okay. All right, we need to move on.
The way he put his hands on Cam in the playoff game.
I don't remember him doing shit.
I sure remember.
That was your fucking linebacker. But anyways, we'll move on. Now, the next thing we're going to be talking about is this whole Smith, or whole, man, shut up. This whole Michael Sam situation.
Man, fuck him too. Man, you got I am sick and tired of the NFL sitting up here telling me that I have to keep hearing about Michael Sam. I don't give a Michael Sam. Fuck him. If he ain't good enough to fucking make the team, then why are we worried about this motherfucker making a practice team? Because he likes men? That's his fucking problem. His fucking business. Don't nobody care about that. What about the other goddamn 700 players that got cut from these teams that ain't nobody talking about? Nobody's giving press to. I had about 25 good players on the 49ers that got cut because there are no roster spaces. And they're better than Michael Sam. Is anybody talking about them? No. I am sick and tired of people using this man's personal life and his personal choices in his life to get him further. And you know what, Michael Sam? You a bitch because you had to fucking come out and say, I'm gay. Like that shit was gonna get you drafted higher.
I told you he did that just to get drafted.
Fuck that shit. That's why that motherfucker didn't get drafted higher. And as soon as Jeff Fisher saw, oh, this is gonna be a fucking problem because this motherfucker think he better than he is. You know what? His ass is out of here. And fucking Jerry only signed, I'm sorry, I'm almost done. Jerry only signed that motherfucker because Jerry want to be in the good graces of the fucking public eye. But let me tell you something. If you don't fucking go out there and get it done on the field, your life, your sexual preference, none of that shit matters. You are the reigning SEC Defensive Player of the Year, and you don't even look like it going into training camp.
That don't mean shit because Troy Smith won the Heisman and got fucking drafted in the 7th round.
Hey, well, let me tell you something. Troy Smith was productive for us.
Let's get to the actual subject about Michael Sam.
Fuck him.
So the subject is about Michael Sam is that the NFL reportedly sent out memos to the 31 teams since the Rams cut him, saying that what was your evaluation on Michael Sam? Were you guys maybe interested on taking him in, signing him on a practice squad, and possibly bringing him to an NFL roster when it came down to maybe having to cover up for an injury or anything else like that?
Here's my question with that. did the NFL do that for all the other players that got cut?
No, they did not.
But see, and that's my problem with it. You know, it's not, his sexual preference. Okay, I don't care about that.
Stop
That's not
using
the
it.
problem.
He needs to stop using it as an advantage.
But the thing is, though, my problem with it is that there's a lot, like you touched on, there was a lot of good players that got cut because there was no roster spots. But did the NFL send a memo out for them? No, they did not. Just because they wanted this man to be picked up by a team so they can look good. I mean, and to us being the fan, to us that makes us look at him like, man, that's not right. You know what I mean? And then they're gonna look at us like, yo, you're just not liking the man because they know that has nothing to do with it. And what's to do with it is that they sent memos out to 31 different teams for this guy, but then there was 700 to 800 other guys that got cut, and they didn't get a memo sent out to save their life. You know?
I gets cut from the Rams team. I mean, honestly, given
No, I don't believe that.
But I mean, the Rams' defensive line is straight.
They have a team.
I understand that.
loaded.
But at the same time, if a person is that good, then
You'll find it.
yeah, they wouldn't have just cut him. They would have
would've been on
traded
special
for him.
teams.
They would have got something back for
No,
him.
he would have been on
He
special
can't
teams.
play special
Yeah.
teams. That's the thing. The
would've
dude
tried
that they
something.
kept,
He's
the other guy
he's
they
too
kept,
slow to play special
The
teams.
other guy that they kept could play special teams.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And see, the thing was, I also heard he was like Allen Iverson. Practice. He wasn't a practice player. He wouldn't show up in practice, but he would show up in the games. But you can't deny what he did on the field. The man led the team in sacks, and he was second in tackles.
I'll give him credit. He did have a decent preseason,
Yes, he did.
especially for a 7th round pick.
Yeah.
I mean, there's all these media outlets and everything else that made it seem like he was a higher profile than he really is, which is unfair because there are other players that are of note that should have been able to get media coverage and everything else that were doing damage in the preseason, whatever. So, I mean, it's like he said, it shouldn't matter on one person's sexual preference.
That has nothing to do with the game.
No, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, exactly. It shouldn't have to do with that. I mean, if it's really the media because the players don't care.
Nope.
Because there's been a lot of players that have been low key, gay, and still people don't care. They just want to play.
I've seen pictures of former NFL players in the pool and stuff.
The player's concern is, can you play? Can you contribute to a team? That's all the players care about. It should not be about his sexual preference. It shouldn't be about his sexual preference. About playing for an NFL roster. It should be about, can he play? Can he contribute to a team that's trying to win a championship?
Look,
that's all that should matter.
The bottom line is this.
Let him get his piece.
That motherfucker. I still got some more.
I see.
Built up.
What I might say is a little controversial, but I'm gonna go ahead and say it because this is hard to paint. Right?
It's hard in pain.
Hard to paint.
Number one sports show in the area.
Okay. The problem I have with Michael Sam, one, if he's gay, I'm glad for him. I respect him enough for even coming out. Give him that. But the problem I have, he used that because if you sit back and look at it, it was plotted. If you sit here and think about it, like when he came out.
I know where you're going with this.
Yeah, I'm going there. When he came out, right before the draft.
I agree with you.
Right before the draft.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they said his teammates on Missouri knew for a whole year. I believe a whole year or something. Okay, why you just didn't fully come out then? Why did you wait? You got a call. Why did you wait? Why did you wait till the draft to come out?
Because
hold on.
I'll tell you what that bitch was thinking.
Hold on.
Let him get his piece.
You didn't say peace like 8 times.
Motherfucker.
Sit back. Now, with his ass coming out before the draft, it was plotted. Then you hear about during the process when he getting evaluated for the combine?
Yeah.
The NFL combine. Then you hear about the rumors that he made a deal with Oprah's network for the show.
For a reality show.
For a reality show.
While he's going through camp.
So all this is planned. You can tell this is one big plan that's coming around. Then after the draft, he got drafted by St. Louis, Missouri, same state team as the college. Jeff Fisher's like, you know what? No, you ain't bringing that bullshit. Here, you nix that shit, or you ain't on this team. So he nixed the reality show plan. And I mean, you got the whole him getting drafted. They showing him and his spouse or his life partner. Yeah. Him and his life partner kissing
on TV.
I mean, I didn't have a problem with that. I think it just the over and over. It's like
I think what you
they oversaturated it with it. Just kept. That's all they showed, and I'm like, you have to give society. I mean, we done came a long way. Cause I mean, you think about it, like a real pioneer to me was Ellen when she came out. Cause I mean, she got shit canned.